Om Stapakaya ca dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine Stapakaya ca dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine Avatar Varisthaya Ramakrishna Te Namah Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityormamritangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us pray to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God incarnate. Let us bow down to Him and pray to Him to lead us from unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. Today's topic I am giving to you is Vedantic realization of oneness. Swami Vivekananda ji, the great incarnation of Lord Shiva, came to Chicago to install the huge spiritual power station, and that is Vedanta. So whoever draws power through this station will be blessed with immense peace, joy, and spiritual prosperity. It is through Vedanta we really understand the significance of oneness of existence. Vedanta is compared to big ocean. All the religions of the world are streams hastening to join the ocean. So Vedanta is the sum total of all the religions of the world, past, present and future. It is like the thread running through the garland of flowers. Vedanta establishes oneness of existence through all the religions of the world. If we understand this central cardinal point, really we enjoy peace and happiness wherever we are. We are one as humanity. We are all drawing the energy from the one source, the divine supreme source. So in order to have that supreme power running through us in a harmonious way, we need transformers and power stations here and there to channelize that high power voltage running through. Vedanta provides all these facilities. Vedanta has no place for fanaticism, no bigotism, no dogmatism, nothing of that sort. All isms are rejected. So, we need to understand Vedanta in a proper way. Vedanta is Adhyatma Vidya. That is called Vedanta. It deals directly with the nature of the soul. Who am I? Why have I come here? Where do I go? What will happen to me after death? All these questions are simply resolved in Vedanta. We can imagine that there is nothing but protoplasm in this universe. Then all the forms will vanish. All the forms are constructed out of one kind of matter only. A tree, or a man, or a dog, or a bug, or a mosquito is made up of the same kind of matter or protoplasm. Protoplasm is a mold of matter in which life is placed. It is a homogeneous, structureless substance, forming the physical basis of life, endowed with contractility, with a chemical composition allied to that of albumin. The thread of matter that connects all forms is one and the same. We can also imagine that there is nothing but energy or mind in this universe. The student in the path of Jnana Yoga thinks that there is only one thread of pure consciousness. Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, all this is strung in me as row of jewels on a thread. Mattaha parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva. So Lord Krishna has given the essence of Vedanta in this wonderful verse. Behind the names and forms, there is a universal life or hidden Brahman or immanent God. We should try to feel the reality underneath the forms. We should not scorn at the tiny creatures or the undeveloped beings. The same life that throbs or pulsates in us is throbbing in ants, dogs, elephants, and all creatures. We should realize our identity and close relationship with all creatures. There is only a degree of manifestation or expression. All forms belong to God, what we call Saguna Brahman. We should look at a tree or a shrub, a dog or a cat, and endeavor to see behind the veil of form into the real hidden life or consciousness behind and underneath the form. If we practice like this for some time, we will derive inexpressible joy. All hatred will cease. We will develop cosmic love and unity of consciousness. This will be the rare magnanimous experience. This will eventually result in the Vedantic realization of oneness. Life is common in trees, ants, birds, animals, and human beings. What is common in sun, moon, stars, chairs, walls, stones, animals, birds, and human beings? Existence. A table exists. A tree exists. Existence is the Sat aspect of the Satchidananda Brahman. There is only apparent fictitious difference in bodies and minds. There are differences in color and opinions. Atman is the same in all. A thief, a scavenger, a king, a rogue, a saint, a dog, a cat, and a mouse all have the same common Atman. Ignore the false appearance and difference. Take out the essence of reality. Root out the conception of duality by the conception of the absolute unity. Destroy the Veda Buddhi, or the intellect that creates differences, distinctions, and separateness. We now enjoy the eternal bliss of the non-dual self. Ekameva Advitiyam. One Atman appears to be many, as one sun appears to be many in various parts of water. Many suns are false. There are mere reflections only. They are simply reflections. So also, the many jivas are illusory. The one sun alone is real. Even so, one Brahman alone is real. The divine life that throbs in every atom of the universe dwells also in the hearts of human beings. The soul of an ant is the soul of a man. The soul of a sinner is the soul of a saint. The soul of a beggar is the soul of a mighty king. The ultimate truth in nature is the ultimate reality in man. To realize this soul through direct intuitive perception is the real goal of human life. We should realize that the whole human race is one. We should break up ruthlessly all illusory barriers that separate man from man. We should understand that the fundamental principles underlying all religions are the same. We should feel our oneness with all. Feel our oneness with the sun, the sky, the wind, flower, tree, birds, animals, stones, rivers and ocean. Realize the oneness of life, unity of consciousness. See the one homogeneous self everywhere in all beings, in all animals, in all plants. We should realize our unity with all human beings. Animals, plants and rocks should mix with all. The Parsis, Americans, the Italians, the Japanese, the Russians, all belong to us. We belong to them. We should unite with them. Swami Vivekananda addressed the audience of the Parliament of Religions in 1893 as dear sisters and brothers of America. We should realize first our unity with all the members of our family, then with all the members of our community, then with all members of our district, then with all the members of our province, then with whole nation, then with all the people of the whole world. If we have succeeded in this attempt, then only we can realize our unity, our oneness with God. Sages look with an equal eye in a Brahmin endowed with learning and humility, in a cow, in an elephant, and even in a dog and in an outcast. What is the nature of this equal vision? Does the elephant appear to them as a dog? Can there be homogeneity in the gunas or appearances? Gunas are always different and heterogeneous. The sage harmonized in yoga sees the self or Atman in the Brahman, elephant, dog and an outcast. Everywhere he sees the same and experiences equal vision. The sage or yogi beholds equality in everything through the likeness of the self. Whatever you see is God. Whatever you hear is God. Whatever you taste is God. Whatever you smell is God. Whatever you feel is God. That is the manifested aspect. The physical body belongs to Virat. The astral body belongs to Hiranyagarbha. The causal body belongs to Ishwar. Where is the little I now? We should have a synthetic cosmic vision. See the unity in diversity. Break the barriers or dividing walls through discrimination, inquiry and wisdom. Acquire the spiritual vision of oneness or unity. Soar high in the realm of eternal bliss. Happy is he who has realized the oneness of the self and who is endowed with the sublime vision of the marvelous Atman. We should feel the divine presence in all creations, be friendly with all. We should love all, be kind to all, cultivate universal love, destroy all barriers and separate one from another. The barriers that separate one from another we should destroy. Give up superiority complex, put a stop to wrong and injustice, develop a pure conscience, disseminate knowledge, happiness and peace among all, practice truthfulness and righteousness. The child also has equal vision like a sage or a Jivan Mukta. He has no idea of friend or enemy. You beat him now and then call him with a piece of sugar candy in your hand, he will run to you at once with intense joy. In this equal vision there is ignorance, but the equal vision of a sage is due to knowledge of the unity or oneness of the self. There is one homogeneous self in all. We should negate the illusory name and form and try to be one with the underlying immortal essence and serve all with Atma Bhava. We should melt all illusory differences and annihilate separateness. We should destroy all unreasonable dislikes or prejudices. We should never remain idle even for a moment. We should lead a life of noble activity and keep always calm in mind and thus become a practical Vedantin. There is neither delusion nor sorrow for that sage who has realized that all beings are the self, for there is no second for him. Such a sage is verily Brahman himself. When everything is cognized as Brahman, then there is not even a particle other than Brahman. That is the reason why Shrutis emphatically declare all indeed is Brahman. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. There is no such thing as diversity. Jiva can become Brahman. As soon as avidya, the upadhi of jiva vanishes, jiva becomes one with Brahman. So our religious practice should be to break this upadhi, to get rid of ignorance. Water of the Ganga is the same whether it runs in the river's bed or be shut up in a bottle. Even so, the Jivatma and Paramatma are one and the same. He who sees unity in diversity is a real man of religion. The things that make us like are finer and deeper than the things that make us different. Where there is duality, there one sees another. But when the Atman only is all this, how can one see another? There is a fear in duality. There are quarrels and wars in duality. Duality is ignorance. Duality brings grief, sorrow, disease and death. We should transcend duality, break the veils, tear the sheets and rest in Advaita. We should not entertain unkind thoughts, not speak unkind words, pull out all walls that separate us from others. If we see difference, there is absence of love. We should feel our presence in the tree, stone, sun, moon, stars, animals, etc. All is self. All is one. The whole world is our body. We should feel this and feel our oneness with all life. Vedanta is a direct royal road to the domain of unalloyed felicity and the supreme abode of immortality and eternal bliss. It is the Sanjeevani that can bring immediate life to a dying man. It lifts a man at once to the status of an emperor of emperors, king of kings. It gives real inner strength. It inspires, renovates, vivifies, invigorates and energizes. It gives hope to hopeless, power to powerless, vigor to vigorless and joy to joyless. That is the dynamic power of Vedanta. The bold philosophy that elevates a person is Vedanta. It's all embracing. It is the religion of Vedas. It brings hope, strength and peace, inspiration to the forlorn, depressed and hopeless. The sages emphatically declare that there is no greater gain than the gain of Atman, the self. All desires are gratified when one attains self-realization. He enjoys the supreme bliss of the self. He is satisfied in the self. Vedanta embraces all. It is all inclusive. It is the religion of the Upanishads. It is the property of all. It has no quarrel with any religion whatsoever. It preaches universal principles. It inculcates the idea that universal religion. It inculcates the idea of that universal religion which is the fountainhead of all religions of the world. Vedanta includes all sects, all religions, all creeds, all cults, all nations. It proclaims the revelations of the sages of yore of India. It is a common property of all. It expands the heart and opens the eyes. It brings a new life. It gives supreme joy and eternal bliss. It removes all barriers which separate man from man and unites all people. It gives solace, strength, peace, and removes all fears, doubts, and anxieties, delusion and illusion. The knowledge of the self destroys avidya or ignorance, just as the sun destroys darkness. Then the whole world of names and forms which had been hiding Brahman from us will melt away. Atma Jnana has to be felt and experienced by one's own self through Shravan, Manan and Nididhyasa. So that is the glory of Vedanta. So Vedantic glory one can realize. When one realizes that glory, one is well established in peace and harmony. Lord Sri Ramakrishna realized this oneness of existence. Ramana Maharshi realized this. That's why you find all the humanity converging without any kind of barriers, listening to Sri Ramakrishna, listening to Ramana Maharshi, enjoying the glory of Vedanta and enjoying immense peace and bliss. Thank you very much.
Om Stavakaya Dharmasya Sarvadharmaswarupine Stavakaya Dharmasya Sarvadharmaswarupine Avatara Varishtaya Ramakrishna Te Namah. Niranjanam Nityamanantarupam Bhaktanukampadrita Vigraham Vai Niranjanam Nityamanantarupam Bhaktanukampadrita Vigraham Vai Ishavataram Parameshamidhyam Tam Ramakrishnam Sirasa Namami. Let us bow down to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God Incarnate, who is adored by all, pure, eternal, infinite by nature. Out of His infinite grace on the devotees, the Divine Supreme has assumed a human form in the form of Sri Ramakrishna. Let us bow down to Him. Let us try to dwell upon the personality Sri Ramakrishna.